It's one of the biggest days of the year on Purdue campuses across Indiana. Students have been showcasing their best work and give others the opportunity to give back. There's still 6 hours left of Day of Giving and donations continue to roll in. Hello and welcome to Fast Track News. I'm Yahaira Martinez.
And I'm Sydney Simone. We've stayed busy here in the studio all day, but Fast Track reporter Declan McInerney went out to see the fundraising efforts of schools across campus.
It was a big day on the campus of Purdue University as the annual Day of Giving event was underway. The Purdue Day of Giving is an annual online-based fundraising event that takes place for 24 hours. Students, alumni, faculty, staff, parents, and friends of Purdue are encouraged to give back and donate to Purdue. Different colleges compete to see who can claim the top spot at the leaderboards by the end of the day. Down in the Stewart Center, students from the Brian Lamb School of Communication are hosting a 12-hour live broadcast for the Day of Giving. The broadcast is used to promote donations for the Brian Lamb School of Communication as well as for the Purdue Channel.
We've been live on the Purdue Channel since 9 a.m. this morning, and here with me is executive producer Declan McInerney, who has been planning for a Day of Giving since the beginning of the semester.
Yeah.
Hi, Declan. How is it going?
Hi, good. How are you?
So how's Day of Giving going for you today?
It's quite hectic. It's been a long one, I do have to say. We got to thanks to our true executive producers, Lauren McAdams. She has been putting in weeks and weeks of work into the show and making it run smoothly. Just kind of subbing in. This is her first break of the day, so. But it's been a ton of fun. We've had different guests, teachers, students, different interviews. People have been working really hard to produce their hours. So it's been an incredibly exciting day.
So what's been your role in Purdue Day of Giving so far?
So I'm part of a couple different classes, one of which is media management. That is the main class that's taking charge of the day for the Lamb School to promote the Day of Giving. We have been working for a couple weeks on this, just kind of getting the ball rolling, and then been really grinding this past probably 3 weeks just to make this one day work out. We're all in charge of producing our own hour. We produce 1 hour individually and combine, you got to have your interviewers, segments together, and you really got to have everything narrowed down. Who your guests are, you got to get them down to the studio, whether you're directing or hosting. So it's been a very exciting day, but a long one.
Now, do you know how the guests for the show were chosen, and why did you choose those individuals to come on the show today?
Well, my personal experience, my hour is from 7 to 8, so it's going to be right after this. And you kind of you pick a theme for your hour, whatever that may be. For mine, it's going to be equipment. And so I chose a couple different teachers and some alumni and then some current students just to ask them how those experiences of their hands-on work, because we have all this wonderful equipment in the studio, just to see how that has affected them, whether in their teaching, in their career, in their academic work.
And what's something you think we should continue to do during Purdue Day of Giving? Do you think this is a show that we should make annual?
Definitely. Definitely, I would say donate is the biggest thing. Definitely, that's a huge part of it. But I think doing this live show, it's a lot of work, but it's a ton of fun, and as we know in the live class, 30 minutes can be tough, but 9 hours is...
Right, that's long.
It takes some planning, but it is for a great cause, and I think the show really demonstrates what we have in the studio and how we use it, and it just grabs more and more attention, and it just, it shows weekly what we do.
Right. And so you mentioned Lauren is the executive producer. What role has she played in the pre-production work? I know she was hosting a little bit earlier, but what are some of the things for viewers who don't know? What is she doing kind of behind the scenes to prepare for today?
Lauren oversees everything. So each individual who brings the hour, we all bring a rundown of our guests. Every camera has to have a certain angle. The desks, the chairs, everything has to have a certain place, and Lauren's in charge of making sure all of that is in order. She oversees everything and everyone, making sure everyone's in the right place at the right time.
Perfect. Well, we look forward to seeing you back on the show tonight around 7 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Some schools are taking a different approach to fundraising. It's hard to say no when the student asking for donation happens to have 4 paws. Raya and her friends spoke to the College of Veterinary Medicine during the Love a Lab fundraiser, and Mohanga has more.
Love a Lab event right here, and we have a guest student and her buddy right here. So first, I would like to know your name and what year are you?
Yeah, so my name's Nora Sloan, and I'm a 3rd-year vet student. And then this is Riot right here that I have with me.
And like how long have you been with him?
With Riot, so I am not Riot's owner. Riot came to us in August, and she is here as a canine educator. So they stay here for about 9 months, and they help teach the vet students how to do physical exams, how to train a dog, because a lot of vet students don't have their own personal dogs before coming to vet school.
And share me one fun story about you and Riot.
So fun story about me and Riot. I mean, she doesn't really like listening to me. She really does live up to her name of being a Riot and just wanting to do whatever she wants to do.
Oh, good. Oh, that's fun. And what do you think the Love a Lab event here means to Purdue on the Day of Giving?
I think it's really a good event because it gets our dogs out and lets the public know more about these dogs that are so helpful to our education and really provide a lot to the students.
And for 150 years of Giant Lips, do you think vet school will really take a big step on taking care of animals?
Yeah, so they're really good about having any of our animals who are sick go into the hospital or have one of the vets come out and look at them. So they're really well taken care of, and they really help bring that into the students also by bringing us into their medical decisions regarding the dogs.
And do you know why you're so passionate about dogs?
So I've always loved dogs, but I want to become a small animal vet, so it just makes it even better that I get to hang out with dogs during the school day.
Yeah, and could you add one more words about to the ones where student came out in the future, even just come and say hi to you guys?
It's just really great having the dogs here. They give you so much love, and it's a really great stress reliever for anyone.
All right, what's your name?
Nora.
Well, thank you, Nora, for her and her dog right here, and thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
Still to come on Fast Track, virtual reality is bringing other students and researchers to Purdue. We'll take a look when we come back. You're watching Fast Track News live.
Welcome back to Fast Track's News. Students studying technology here at Purdue have some new opportunity thanks to a unique facility in the Stewart Center. It's called the Envision Center. It blends technology and art to include virtual reality and animation. And Mohanga is here to tell us more about the new space that's opening up. Mohan?
Yeah, so I'm so excited to be here today as a guest, and the new space is called the Forge. So they're measuring the galaxy explosion. So when you put on the VR glasses, you will actually be into the gallery. Oh. And you can be in the same gallery with 6 people, which means there are only 6 robot heads. So when you get put on VR, you won't be a human anymore. You will be a robot. So you only see the robot head moving around, and that's kind of like a really just a unique space between you and other people who put their VR glasses on.
Interesting.
And I will have more detail, and my experience, actually I was experiencing that with one of the student stuff there, and it's all in my story.
Awesome, thank you. Well, let's take a look.
TAP's Innovation Center is turning 15. And its birthday party will be a public open house featuring the unveiling of the Forge, the center's new cooperative environment that allows multiple people to share one virtual reality or augmented reality experience. Students and staff members from IU, IUPUI, and other universities visited to be inspired.
Hi everyone, so right here I got Assistant Technical Director Allison for me to introduce the whole new space. Hello Allison, how are you doing today? I'm doing well, how about you? Yeah, I'm great. So I will just hand the mic to Allison and let's see what's going on here.
Thank you. So we're actually inside the Forge right now. This used to be our cave system, which was completely torn down, and we regained about half of the space that you see here. We have 2 of our student workers actually in mocap suits, doing a little bit of motion capture and animation, as you can see on the screen in the back. We use this for a lot of our projects, actually, that does full body motion capture as well as facial animations, which we will be doing in the coming months. And off to the right there, we also have visualization of Cassiopeia, the supernova star remnant. So we have one of our students, Jordan McGraw, actually showing around the Cassiopeia supernova remnant. So both of them are actually in the virtual space looking at the same virtual star. And we are planning on having instructors use this to teach several students at the same time to look at what used to be a 2D image that they can now see in three-dimensional space.
Behind this exciting moment, it is a lot of hard work. Kasha George, the center's technical lead, sees the Innovation Center's ultimate purpose as adding in research and learning by helping its partners presenting complex material visually.
The general reception has been absolutely awesome. We've been able to showcase the primary limitation of our previous system, which was mostly visualization from a single point perspective. So from a instructional perspective, it was very limited, but now that we can essentially share that perspective with multiple users, suddenly we can now bring in classroom environments or shared exploration of complex data sets.
He also introduced me to one of their casual meetings with their student members, which is all about brainstorming.
Alright, so for today, my team and I were looking at our data storage as well as archival discussion. So we're looking at how we need to divide out some of our materials. A lot of the content that we produce here within the Innovation Center can span multiple different technologies as well as domains. So everything from how we do long-term version control as well as continuous development and breaking that into archival and long-term storage. We want to kind of break out our standards for how we want to keep the materials archived. As well as making it easier for future generations of students to traverse through the content so they can easily find what they need.
So we're here back again with George, and he has another new technology right here he wants to introduce to me. So I'll grab the microphone.
Alright, so we're going to be showcasing a platform that we built that was funded by OSHA for the Susan Harwood grant. We're showcasing and teaching fall safety within the construction site. So you'll be using the HTC Vive. This is a head-mounted display, and you'll be placing this on your head. And I may need some assistance to get this on your head here in a moment. But you'll be using this to immerse yourself inside of a virtual construction site, and we'll give you a series of scenarios to essentially help prevent a person from falling to their death.
At this moment, he really encouraged students to check out the Innovation Center and learn more.
So we do have an open office hour on Fridays, every day or every week from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So if you wish to learn a little bit more about VR or consult with us, we do have that open office hour. And we also have the student VR organization, VR club that meets every week as well inside this location. So come check us out.
On Purdue campus, Fast Track News, Mohango.
The Envision Center is in Stewart Center Room B001. To take a virtual tour, visit www.rca.purdue.edu. We might be seeing some changes to women and children's health in Indiana after a public symposium. The event was hosted by the College of Health and Human Sciences. Breaking Barriers series and gave the public an insight to the research being done by Purdue faculty. Fast Track reporter Ding Dan Hao was one of the over 200 attendees and has more on the story.
Graduate program hosted a symposium, which is part of Purdue University's 150 Years Giant Leap celebration. The theme for this year's symposium is Breaking Barriers, improving access to health services for women and children in Indiana.
And the welfare of women has improved markedly. Now, we look around and we still see lots and lots of problems. But to be honest, to the big picture, things have been improving. And so what we have to deal with is the unmet needs right now. But there is hope that as frustrated as we may get in dealing with the day-to-day, year-to-year sorts of challenges, overall we should feel encouraged that ultimately things move in the right direction.
The primary goal of the symposium is to expose audience to innovative research conducted by Purdue University's outstanding faculty members in an effort to move toward Purdue University being the state's leader in women's health research. Graduate student Sanjina Vinzay said she really enjoyed the style of the symposium.
I really like the roundtable style. Like, I've been to conferences where it's just like seats, and I feel like that's very formal and like you don't get to like really talk to people. And I liked how the roundtable, there were so many different like little speeches you could see and learn more about. So I think it was a good way to actually get to know other people at the conference and like a better way to network.
She also says every table speech is informative.
So the first round table was actually a March of Dimes representative. I would say like what she talked about was an overview of maternal and child health in Indiana. First, she kind of discussed like statistics, so like adverse outcomes with pregnancy and with infants are usually with minority populations as well as low socioeconomic status. So she kind of discussed that. She also discussed how although the U.S. is one of the most like developed countries, we are one of the lowest in maternal and child health, and although other developed countries are like decreasing their rate of maternal death and infant death, the U.S. is one of the only developed countries that's increasing. So like that's something, I'm not familiar with maternal and child health, so that was really interesting to me. I think it brought like a lot of different crowds, and it was mostly women, so it was nice to see like some of the men actually get involved in that and see things that they wouldn't have heard of before.
Next year's symposium will share more research and information to improve public health services in Indiana. For Fast Track, reporter Ding Den Hao.
This is the first event of its kind at Purdue University, but with the successful outcome, plans are already being made for next year. Over the years, Purdue has made an effort to increasing diversity on campus. The Purdue student government took extra steps to revise their constitution to ensure changes are taking place.
Please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign.
Last week, the Purdue student government decided to put more of an emphasis on diversity and inclusion on campus by revising their constitution. In fact, Bill 1853 discussed more collaboration with groups on campuses and admits student delegates who share common goals and ideas.
A lot of on-campus organizations and divisions and centers have distrust in Purdue's student government and the way that we function in terms of projects. Like, how can PSG actually be representative of these people? How can the projects and the programs that we implement be truly beneficial to improving the inclusivity and the diversity on campus? Divisions and centers, including the cultural centers, the Division of Diversity and Inclusion Director, Annette Waters-Brown.
Purdue has several cultural centers around campus that students can visit, some being the Black Cultural Center, Latino Cultural Center, and ARC, the Asian Cultural Center.
Resolution 1852 passes. Thank you all.
Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Sydney Simone.
When we come back, we've seen some cooler temperatures this last week, but Declan has more on what we can expect through finals.
That's right. We'll see these cooler temperatures make their way into the weekend, with highs barely reaching the 60s. Will there be any sunshine for the days to come? How about the weather for finals week? I'll have the latest for you coming right up after these messages. Welcome back. Now the headlines for today, we have temperatures in the mid temperatures with a roller coaster forecast to come. Current conditions are 57 with a high of 60 and a low of 52 for the day. We're going to start to see temperatures fall off a little bit as we head into the night, but winds will remain calm. Moving on, we have a low pressure system coming into the area with a good chance of rain as we see more and more into the night. As you can see, 11 p.m. tonight, we will have rain in the area, so it's highly likely if you're heading off campus, be sure to bring that umbrella as you go and head into studying. As we head into the wee hours of the morning, it is gonna, there will be some more clouds, but we will have a lack of precipitation. All right. The overnight temperatures will be 52 in the lower 50s. But the winds will remain calm, so the temperature should stay the same. Let's go ahead and check and do our 7-day forecast. All right, as you can see, for Thursday, tomorrow, there will be a chance of showers. However, temperatures will be on the little bit of the higher side versus what they were today, with a high of 67 and a low of 49. As we head into the weekend, things will be mostly sunny, and then all throughout next week, we are looking at a good chance of rain, but warmer temperatures.
What is a Boilermaker?
We're closer than ever to the end of the 150th year, and finals are just around the corner.
Spring 2019 classes officially come to an end this Saturday, and finals will take over campus on Monday, April 29th, and officially end on May 4th, with grades due by 5 p.m. on May 7th.
Commencement ceremonies begin on Friday, May 10th, and if you don't know when you're walking, listen up. The 1st and 2nd division will be on Friday, May 10th, with the 3rd and 4th following on the 11th.
5th and 6th divisions will finish the ceremonies on Sunday, May 12th. Be sure to check out purdue.edu to find out your division.
Whether you've been in West Lafayette your whole life or have just spent a few years on Purdue's campus, citywide farmers markets are one of the most popular ways to jump into warmer weather.
Organized by the Greater Lafayette Commerce, the Lafayette Farmers Market has been around since 1839, and it celebrates its 180th year this season from many locations across Tippecanoe County. The Purdue Farmers Market will open for the first day of the season on Thursday, May 2nd.
At the Purdue Farmers Market, you can find anything from flowers to fresh produce to home-baked goods. Beginning next week, it will be open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Thursday from May to October.
And well, our time here has come to an end.
I know, it's so sad and bittersweet.
And that's all the time we have for this semester's final episode of Fast Track News. I'm Yahaira Martinez.
And I'm Sydney Simone. Have a great summer and see you back next fall.
Bye.
For the breakers. I love that name. Boiler Breakers. Hey, that was fresh. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh.